back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So if you've seen my last video with my little bitty haul, you know that I'm posting this late. I just figured you'd rather see the haul first than me ramble about books that I've read. So yeah, I'm just going to get started sharing what I read this week because this is probably going to be my last weekly wrap up for the rest of the year. Just because I'm going to Disney and I'm only bringing one book with me, so I don't think I'll be having much to share. So yeah, the first book I read this week was Beneath the Glitter by Blair Fowler. I gave this 2 stars, I want to say. I have so much to say about this book. Like, I rambled like crazy on Goodreads about how I did not like this book. If you don't know who Elle and Blair are, these are them, and they are beauty gurus on YouTube, and they wrote this book. I'm pretty sure it was ghostwritten. Which, even if it was ghostwritten or them, I still don't like this book. It's basically like based on their lives without being based on their lives. Like, there's 2 main characters. They're both sisters, just like them. They're living in LA. They get famous because of YouTube, just like them. But, like, you don't even know that they're YouTube stars until, like, 30 pages in. Like, unless you read, like, the flap, you would never have any idea that that's how they got famous or what's going on. I really hate love triangles, and there was 2 love triangles. Both sisters had their own love triangle, and I'm like, why? Why is that necessary? It took me a while to keep Sophia and Ava apart. I couldn't remember which one was which. There was just like a lot of events that happened, and I just felt like they didn't correlate together. You didn't even know how old they were. I just assumed, like, based off ages of when this book came out, like, how old they were when they wrote this, so that's where I based the ages on. And, like, Ava's in love with this movie star, and she writes in all caps, and she's like, oh, I love this guy. Like, she's like a 5-year-old in love, and it's just like, no. I'm sorry. No. And then there's London do's and London don'ts at the end of every chapter. Don't understand the point of those either. I don't know. There's just so much about this that I didn't like, but then I'm still, like, probably going to pick up the next book if I could get it cheap enough, just because I do want to know what's going on, because it's weird. The book starts with a prologue, and usually, like, you read the prologue, and as you read, you end up getting to know the answer of why the prologue even existed sometimes, not all the time. But it led up to that event, and it didn't answer any questions. It basically, the end was the prologue all over again, and you still don't know anything. So I feel like I will pick up the other one just because I want to know what's going on, but only if I could get it really, really cheap, because I do love these covers. The covers are really gorgeous, but that's all they really have going for them. After that, I was so irritated with that I just had to reread a book. I read this book back in 8th grade, so like 10 years ago, but I thought I'd give it a chance, and it's called She Said Yes by Misty, Barnell. And this is about a girl who was shot in Columbine High School, like, years and years ago, like back in the 90s. And I guess when they went to go shoot her, they asked her if she believed in God, and she said yes. And this is basically her mother telling her story of, like, how this girl got to the point of believing in God, and, like, what happened with her life and what the family went through. And I loved this when I read it in 8th grade. I really did. There's something that obviously that sticks out in my head that wanted me to reread this because I remembered liking it. I gave this 3 stars this time. There's just something, it was just boring to me. I wanted to be engaged, but it was just so slow, and it just dragged, and I couldn't give it any more than 3 stars, even though I did love it in 8th grade. It's weird reading it now because I'm like, I can't even imagine liking this in 8th grade as a 12, 13-year-old girl compared to a 23-year-old girl, but I was really sad and really disappointed that I didn't end up liking this. And then the last book I read, which shouldn't come as a surprise if you see my last haul, and that is Pretty Little Liars by Sara Shepard. Somehow, I have so many books in my closet that I need to read, yet I just buy this and I have to read it right away. Don't know. Gave this 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting to like it because, like I've said in past videos, I'm not a huge fan of YA contemporary, but I feel like the mystery that's involved in this book really kept me engaged, and all the things that the girls did and, like, their secrets coming out, I really liked it. it was surprising. I found this in the middle school section of my library. I cannot imagine being in middle school reading this. Maybe, I don't know, but like, there's just so much drugs and like sex and eating disorders and everything that I can't imagine reading this in middle school. Maybe I was just like a little naive girl, but I don't know. Big me likes it, so I'm really excited. I wanted to pick up book 2 yesterday, but I don't want to be in the middle of it before I get on the airplane. But that must say something if I already want book 2. Yeah, that's all I read this week. I hope you guys are having a great holiday, because I know Christmas is coming up and people are starting to get off from school, and by the time you watch this, the Booktubeathon should be either going on or already passed. So I hope you did really good on that, and if you did or participated and you want to let me know how you did and what you read, let me know down below. And I will see you guys really soon. Bye everyone.